What's going on, everybody? My name is Evan Thompson. This is Motivational Monday. We are doing this at night. That's why I'm using my microphone. Usually I'm very loud, but tonight I'm very calm. So let's get right to it. When it comes to motivations, I know for me personally, I have so many motivations that I'm so eager to get to, that I am just so eager to get to, man. I'm dying. And it can be tough to wait, and it can be tough to not have matters in your own hands. Or maybe you're a person who has no motivation at all, no driving point, you're just numb to life. When you recognize, despite your human efforts, that God is the one who allows these things to come to pass for all people in life, it humbles you and puts you in a realization who's really in control. When you also realize his goodness and his true character and how he wants the best for every single human being, no matter who you are, it fills you with hope and purpose and a true drive in life. Let's see what God himself has to say about both scenarios we covered. There are many more scenarios in life, but the Bible has an answer because God is a God who's alive and is willing to anyone who seeks him. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 1. We're going to be reading an overview of the story. We're skimming through verses to make the story clear about Hannah's heart. Ramoth, whose name was Elkanah, had two wives. One was named Hannah, the other was named Phinehai. Phinehai had children, but Hannah had none. Year after year, Phinehai would go and make sacrifice to the Lord and bring back meat from the two priests' sons, and he would give a double portion to Hannah because he loved her, and the Lord had closed the room. But in order to irritate her, her rival, year after year, would keep provoking her, until one day Hannah wept bitterly and would not eat. Her husband Elkanah would say to her, "Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? Don't I mean more than you than 10 sons?" Once they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now Eli the priest was sitting on his chair by the doorpost of the Lord's house. In her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly, and she made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if only you'll look on your servant's misery and remember me, not forgetting your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor sons him. Then Hannah went her way, ate something, and her face was no longer downcast. So in the course of time, Hannah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, saying, because I asked the Lord for him. God chose this specific man who was being run over by the Midianites. They were taking over his land. He was just passing through, fleshing wheat, scraping it up, just doing things to pass through, no real purpose and drive and no aim in life. And that's what the Lord did for him. This is Judges 6. The angel of the Lord came down and sat under an oak tree in Ophrah that belonged to Joshua the Abarite, where his son Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from the Midianites. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." "Pardon me, my lord," Gideon replied. The Lord returned to him and said, "Go in your strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. Am I not sending you?" "Pardon me, my lord," Gideon replied, "but how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family." The Lord answered, "I will be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites, leaving no one alive." The story of Hannah and Gideon still have more context and details in the story, but I want to highlight those specific verses that we read today. In Hannah's case, she's been ridiculed and mocked for years for being barren, for not having a child. But then she made her plans and expressed her desires to the Lord, and the Lord blessed her not only with a son, but a great spokesman and prophet of him. And in Gideon's case, he was a lowly man, a man least expected to be used. And God went to him and said, "You're going to be the man that I chose. I chose you to deliver my people from the hand of the Midianites. I'm going to use you in a mighty way to raise up, to redeem my people." And he was in disbelief. But remember, God looks at the heart. He weighs the human heart and views and looks at the intentions. Our thoughts are like a lamp to our heart that God can read to see what's really inside of somebody. There's a Proverbs that says when you make your plans with the Lord, you will be successful. You know why? Because it's with the Lord. And when it's with the Lord, it's successful always. And it's at its best state, its heightened state. You'll get more and even more than what you ask for when you make plans with the Lord. right? And if you are the type of person like Gideon, in a sense, you feel lowly, you are lowly, you have no sense. The Lord says, come to me, all you brokenhearted, all you heavy labor, I'll give you rest. He's opening your arms to people like Gideon. That could be you, right? And so God's encouragement simply is come to him, and you will be more than satisfied. You will be fulfilled. There's a Psalm 23 my grandmother always tells me. She says, Evan, recite that. Remember it, because your cup will overflow. That's one of the verses in there. Because with the Lord, your cup will overflow. He will never fail to meet all your needs.